Hey guys, this is NPC. So today we're going to go over some of the characters I recommend for the Hero Total Assault raid, or Hiro, whatever, however you say it. This raid will be arriving in the January 25th update, as you can see here on their Twitter. Now before we get into the video, please click that red subscribe button down below, and let's get into it. So first off, I want to talk about how I'm going to do this tier list. For the most part, I'm going to focus on extreme difficulty because that's going to be the new difficulty released along with the update. However, I will also consider hardcore fights. So first off, let's start with the DPS characters. And for this, I'm going to most likely ignore the yellow DPS, mainly because it's a light armored boss fight. So you kinda should just not use them, with an exception. Actually, let's start with the exception. Ayane, S tier. This boss has really high defense, and Akane's defense reduction helps a ton. In the hardcore difficulty, she's okay, but that's mainly because you can kill off the boss really fast. So having her isn't that necessary, but having an extra defense down is fine. It really just comes down to your comp that you're going to use to fight the boss. Next up, let's go with Koltama, another S tier. The attack buff is very useful, mainly because, well, this boss has really high defense. So killing it faster helps a lot. The mechanics on this fight aren't that difficult to deal with, so if you reach the heal check, having Koltama just for the added damage is probably more than enough. In hardcore difficulty, she's fine, but I think she shines a lot more in the extreme difficulty, mainly because of how big the health pool is for this boss. Next up, let's talk about a sleeper pick. Where is she? Serika. She is also, in my opinion, an S tier. This is mainly because her auto attacks are very strong, and she has a 2-cost steroid, which allows you to cycle your abilities really fast. Cycling abilities in this fight is very important because you want to get back to your heals so that you can heal a green object that will debuff the boss. So ideally you want to get back to your heals as fast as possible so that you can constantly heal it, so that you can constantly get that stacking debuff going. That way you can kill the boss faster. And having cheap EX cost abilities helps a lot in this fight. That being said, let's see who should be the next character. Actually, let's do Shun. So the thing about Shun is, I would really like to put her S tier, but she does not actually have a bonus in this fight if I remember correctly. Hold on, let's check. Alright, so drafting Shun's gonna give you a stat penalty, as you can see in this difficulty. Indoors, right? Yeah, indoors. And it says right here, indoors. So the problem with Shun is, oops, wrong tab. Even if I would like to put her in S rank, just because her auto attacks hit really hard, I don't believe she beats out some of the other characters. Ideally, I would put her in like a low S, high A, but I'm just going to put her in A tier. In hardcore difficulty, however, I think she moves up a little bit to S. That's why I want to say like high A, low S. Because the extra cost you get helps you burst down the boss a lot faster. And in hardcore difficulty, the boss doesn't have that much HP, so having extra cost to burst it down is really nice. Oh, another pick, Mashiro. Mashiro is interesting. You would think she's an S, but all she really is that nuke. And for a nuke, she's kind of okay. The thing about her is she's a real big coin flip. If you don't hit the big giant cross for the crit damage, she doesn't really hit that hard. And if you're gonna use someone for your backline, I think Koltama just is way better, right? So for Mashiro, I would give her maybe like a low A, high B, but I'm gonna put her B tier. I don't think she's that amazing, but she's not unusable, because I've used her before and she does perform. Let's see, next up, who do we want? Should we go Hina? Hina's interesting. The thing about her is, I don't think you would use her for her EX skill, because it's a 7 cost and it's kind of expensive. So I'll put her in A tier. Let's double check Hina real quick. Oh, she's right there. So yeah, she's got a bad affinity, so she'll have reduced stats. So you really just want to use her to auto attack, right? Yeah. Yeah, when Hina attacks enemies that aren't taking cover, extra damage bonus. Yeah. So she's really strong as just like she sits there and hits them. But preferably if you use Hina, I don't suggest using her EX ability. Just because it's very expensive and you don't want to use that on a weaker ability. Next up we have Aru. Let's see if I remember her. Alright. Again, Aru has reduced stats. However, in Aru's case, using her EX ability isn't that bad because she gets a crit rate buff. So for Aru, even then I would still consider her an A tier. The affinity boost is generally something you want to push towards. It helps a lot in these fights. So we'll put her here. Who do we want to do next? Izumi. Oh, Izumi's interesting. She's neutral affinity. Okay, that's nice. And the thing about Izumi is you need EX3 in order for her to get an actual buff on her EX skill. But with that, she's actually not bad. I would put her at a solid A, I think. I just don't think she shines. Well, she's probably better than these. And I would put Shin like right here. Actually, I think Shin's better than Izumi. These two are kind of equal. I like Aru a little bit more. Cheaper cost. But Izumi kind of requires an investment, and even then she's just an auto attacker. But the nice thing about her is that she has a heal. And with the banners that they released, or that they announced, Koharu isn't actually released yet. So I have a sneaking suspicion that healing is going to be very difficult in this fight. We'll talk about the healers later. Actually, we'll put them all here just so I don't have to look for them. Hello? Who's the other healer? Her. Where's Fuka? There's Fuka. And there's like one more. I swear there's one more. Oh no. I'm blind. It's Ayane. There she is. I knew it. Okay. We'll talk about them later. Let's see. Next, red DPS. Let's go Hibiki. She is just an easy S. Actually, I should order them too, actually. Hibiki is an S. The reason is actually kind of interesting. So as you can see here, EX skill fires 5 mortars in a circular area, right? The thing about that is the boss is so big that Hibiki actually lands all 5 mortars. So you're essentially just doing whatever this damage is 5 times, which makes her really, really strong. And on top of that, her crit damage buff just makes it even stronger. Okay, now that that's out of the way, Mitsuki's another good one. She is definitely S tier. It's very similar to why Hibiki's really good, except Mitsuki, on the other hand, all her abilities hit. Mitsuki, it's Ki. Oops, my bad. So we check her out. This EX skill, all 3 hits land, which makes her really strong, but what makes her ridiculously strong is this normal skill. Every 20 seconds, place 3 landmines, dealing damage, and this is actually very significant damage. The reason why this is really good is she just throws this out over and over again. The fight lasts 4 minutes, so in those 4 minutes you get about, what, 12 of these? It's really high damage. Oh, also her affinity, I'm pretty sure, aligns with the map, right? If I remember correctly. Oh, no, it doesn't. Whoops. Oh, that's a little awkward. Alright, I'll have to lower her then. She'll probably be around here. Alright, next up, let's do tanks. I want to save Azusa for last, just because she's obviously S tier, but there's a couple things I kind of want to say about her and her Anyone else that's a tank that I can talk about? That would be, oh, Shiroko. Oh my god, Shiroko. Shiroko is kind of in the same stage as Serika, except I think I like Shiroko a little bit more. But no, but Serika's stronger. Serika's definitely stronger. Alright, let's check out Shiroko. Yeah, okay, yeah. Let me correct this real quick. Shiroko's probably like here. She's really just for cycling. Her damage is not that special, but this ability is really nice. It does a lot of damage. Now let's do tanks. Haruka, I like her a lot. I think she's really strong. I would probably put her above Aru. You don't really need a tank in this fight. It's just that Haruka actually has a really strong EX skill. I'll put her at B, but I feel like she's like a low A. Like A- probably. It's nice to have her if you don't have any extras. Mainly because if you run like a team with like, let's say Akane Haruka, you would have to run 2 more DPS. We'd do like Azusa and Serika or something like that. Azusa being your main damage dealer. You can have Haruka tank for Akane, just because Akane is kinda squishy, and especially in this fight, you don't want Akane to die. She's very vital. Alright, speaking of Azusa, let's talk about Azusa, the queen of this fight. Straight S tier. There's no question about it, right? She's got the affinity boost, but more importantly, her EX, all her abilities just do damage. Look how strong her EX skill is. 2000, like this does so much damage. Ideally, you need at least level 3, just remember that. It shouldn't be that expensive, but you need to get EX3. It's generally pretty cheap. And she also has a defense down ability right here. Reduces defense. But it's also a nuke. Like, why? This is so busted. And lastly, if they're debuffed, she just does more damage. You know? She does. Her nuking is ridiculously high. Straight S tier, no questions. Oh, her. Honestly, don't use her. The thing is, damage matters a lot in this fight, and her gimmick is mainly CC, which does not really play a role. CC as in crowd control, obviously. It doesn't really play a role in this fight, so using her doesn't really benefit you that much, and there's no extra mobs for her AoE, which kind of sucks because she's a cool character, but what can you do, right? Oh, and let's talk Yuka. Yuka is kind of around this. I would say Yuka is at least usable. Probably she's probably a really true B tier. You don't necessarily need a tank, but if you don't have like an invested Haruka and you need a tank for some reason, Yuka is okay. I've used her before in this fight. Same with Amy. Amy, on the other hand, I would put her a bit higher just because she has a heal. And healing is, again, pretty important in this fight. Now with that out of the way, let's go on to the healers. Starting off, let's talk about Koharu, which I should find Koharu. So Koharu's kit is very similar to Serina, which I'll talk about next actually. For her EX skill, it's a 3 cost, but this is an AoE heal. And wait, it actually does damage? I never knew this. Oh yeah. She does an AoE heal, and she also has a auto heal, kind of like Serika. The thing about Koharu though is, we don't get her in global, which sucks because she's very vital in this fight, and she's a straight S tier. The problem is, since you don't have her, you're gonna need backup healing, because you don't have her AoE heal. And the only other AoE heal introduced is Hanako. Do I have Hane? I don't have Hane. Okay, yeah. But we'll talk about Hanako after Serina. So Serika, like Koharu, is really, really strong. The thing about Serika though is, in hardcore she can instantly heal the yellow or the green lantern, but in EX she can't. Like if we take a look at this chart right here, Serina EX versus Hero EX, she doesn't actually meet the healing requirements, right? Because you need about, I think, 35k healing in order to be able to heal the lantern in one shot. However, even then, Serika is very useful in this fight. I would put her a little bit over Koltama. Yeah, I would run Hibiki Serina over Serina Koltama. Yeah, Koltama. Now let's talk about Hanako. So Hanako is an AoE healer, one of the first, because, well, we don't have... Well, actually, no, she's the second, because Akane, or Ayane, and technically Fuka also AoE heals, but Fuka is kind of a little bit different. So I've used Hanako for a bit, and I kind of have a decently invested one. She's not that great, but she does have investments. And I can say that her healing is okay. Does this chart have it? I'll leave this in the comments, or I'll leave this in the description. Should have Hanako, right? Yeah, Hanako versus Hardcore and EX5 in order to tick the boss. Yeah. So if you have a lot of resources, because this is actually a lot of resources. Let's see, where is it? Because it's Trinity, and I'm pretty sure Azusa's Trinity. Yeah, no, Azusa is definitely Trinity. What am I saying? So you're gonna sacrifice healing for damage, or sacrifice damage for healing. That's very rough. But Hanako is really good. I would put her at a solid A for healer. Probably around here. The fact that she's AoE helps a lot. But the thing is, she's a little expensive. And her buff is okay, right? Yeah, defense. So it's not too bad. She also increases healing. So if you do lack healing, but you need to 3-star her, and she comes at 2-star. So, oof. Might be a little rough. We will do Fuka. Fuka, even though I'm a Fuka hater, we'll put her here. I wasn't sure if I wanted to put her in A or B, but I think she deserves an A rank. Her EX skill healing is kind of okay, but actually let's check this chart. This chart should tell us, right? Okay, yeah. Okay, it can heal the lantern. There's no way they have this here and it can't heal the lantern, right? So yeah, she's around the same. I would like, yeah. Maybe I'll put her above Hanako, just because Hanako is, she competes with Azusa, so it's like, it's gonna be rough on your resources, and I don't want to say you level both of these, right? Because, well, they share the same school. Next up, let's do Ayane. Ayane is another AoE healer, and although not as good as these two, she is actually pretty decent. I would put her here. Healing is, again, ridiculously important in this fight. Let's see. Crit hit resistance is very useful. She has the affinity too. And she increases your max HP, which is actually something that could help you. Because this boss hurts. Alright, next up we have... Oh, we should also check her healing. See if she can 1-tick. Where is it? Ayane versus Hero EX. Again, I will leave this in the description if you want to check this out. This is basically to instant heal the lantern on the boss fight. If you don't know what I mean, I will be releasing a video probably soon after or tomorrow about this. Or like a starter guide about the fight. Yeah, she can't instant heal the EX version, but she can definitely instant heal the normal version, right? Yeah. So if you have it EX4 it looks like? Oh no, EX3, level 4 passive, tier 4 necklace, you can instant heal the boss. Or you can instant heal the lantern. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. She's a good character. Hina is interesting because she's one of the few that can instant heal a lantern. She's one of the few characters that can instant heal a lantern in EX mode. Now, the thing about it is, Hina is a heal over time. 2-star, level 70, tier 5 necklace. It takes 5 ticks. At passive level 4, EX3. That's 20 seconds is long. You have to keep in mind, when you heal the lantern to full, it gets a healing debuff for 20 seconds. And then it takes EX5 to get 4 ticks? Is there any... Can she get less than that? This is 3 tick, right? And then... Oh, but you need like a maxed Hina. Oh no, you can't. Oh, she can't. She can only 3 tick. Even then, Hina, I think, deserves like a high S tier. Probably better than... I don't want to say S tier. Actually, I would say around here, yeah. I would agree. Yeah. This is mainly because she has a crit damage passive right here. But you need to 3-star her to get it. And she also has a defense buff. She's basically a healer Hibiki. So you can run like a Serina Hanae and you'll have Hibiki's damage buff, but you won't have the Hibiki EX skill for the damage. And to round it out, Chinatsu. Chinatsu, she's straight S tier. She is so good in this fight. Actually a sleeper. The thing about Chinatsu is you want her to have EX3 so that you have this remove debuff from target. This helps a lot in the fight because the boss has a debuff that will nuke your mob, that can nuke one of your characters, so you can use that to cleanse the debuff, or you can also use this skill to cleanse the totem, so you can heal it to full again. Also, Chinatsu can instant heal, be it it's very expensive, EX5 at 3-star, passive level 7, ooh, it's pretty expensive, but she can do it. And Chinatsu is, honestly, she's such a useful character. Invest in her if you have her. I mean, everyone should have her, what's wrong with me? Anyways, that's it. Alright, let me show you the list. So this is the list. The rest are either not in the game or you probably shouldn't really consider. Oh, Akari, what is wrong? Akari, she's as good as Serika, but like not. I'll put her like right here. Akari is like weaker Serika. Serika's cheaper, but they both have like a stacking damage buff. I can't believe I forgot Akari. Oh my god. Anyone else I forgot? The rat? Where's the rat? I don't see the rat. What's wrong with me? I know she's here. There she is. Rat? Don't use her. Actually, she's got a crit buff. If you need crit, she's okay. That's about it, right? Everyone else? Most of these others I wouldn't consider for this fight. Oh, Chirino. Chirino has an interesting use. Is that she can help you crit the boss faster. She can help you crit the boss more often. So Chirino's actually I would up her to A. But it doesn't look, I would put her at A. Chirino's actually really nice. But the Chirino's very comp reliant. You would have to run someone like Azusa to carry. You'd probably need Akane Chirino for the debuffs. And then I don't know who your last one is. Maybe like someone that can heal themselves so they don't die. Because you're not going to be able to heal all of these. Especially without Koharu. Anyways. Oh, actually, another one. No, you can't consider Maki. Maki is I would say you can consider Maki, but the thing about Maki is she shares a debuff with Azusa, and they don't stack. So Maki isn't actually that great. She would only be used if you don't have Azusa. Yeah. Is that it? There's nothing else I need to think about, right? Right? Yeah, I think that's it. Okay, so here's my list. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to click that subscribe. And tomorrow I will be releasing a starter guide for this raid, or for the upcoming raid. So be on the lookout for that. Bye bye.